This is the landing pad in St. Paul, Alberta.
Oh, they're awesome. Like, the whole community gets involved. We had the parade today and everybody comes out.
There's lots of bulls tomorrow, and there's lots of bear racing tomorrow.
I like the clowns. I want to be one of the clowns.
You want to be a clown, all right.
I'd gladly get hit by a steer. That sounds fun.
Subscribe.
Make sure
you guys
to subscribe.
Gotta subscribe.
I'm Drew, and I'm a documentary filmmaker with a goal of visiting 25 towns in 2025. To get out and really explore the province and uncover the little gems, the small towns that are the heart of the province. Pancake breakfast. St. Paul sits in Alberta's Lakeland region, a landscape shaped by water, prairie sky, and the communities that have made a life here for generations. But if there's one thing people know about St. Paul, it's this: the world's first UFO landing pad. A symbol of welcome. Or maybe just a reminder that in a place like this, you never know what you might expect. Maybe one day arrivals will come from another galaxy. Today, they come from across the Lakeland in the province for the rodeo. And long before that, families arrived from far beyond this prairie and chose to stay. Before the rodeo grounds fill, before the parade rolls down Main Street, the story of St. Paul begins much earlier. Long before highways and arenas, this land was home to Indigenous and Métis peoples whose lives were deeply connected to the rhythms of the prairie. In the late 1800s, French-Canadian settlers arrived here, drawn by the promise of land, faith, and the chance to build something lasting.
We have a really deep cultural history with our Métis and our Indigenous peoples. We have really solid foundations in both our French-Canadian heritage as well as our Ukrainian heritage and other ethnicities.
Life here wasn't easy though. Winters were harsh, supplies were scarce, and the nearest help could be days away. But regardless, families stayed. They built churches and schools, farms and businesses, and a community rooted in cooperation and resilience. And then there's the Ukrainian heritage as well. There's a whole section of the museum dedicated to this. It's really impressive. Catching these stories, you begin to understand that this isn't just history behind glass. It's the foundation of the lives still being lived outside these doors.
Well, thank you for coming to the museum. Feel free to follow us on our social medias at Musée St. Paul Museum on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. See you there.
And today we're witnessing a community coming together to experience the Lakeland Finals, the main event. Because in St. Paul, history isn't just remembered, it's lived.
This is kind of what we've all been working all year to get to, and this is kind of the finals, so we're here all trying to do our best. But yeah, no, it's pretty exciting.
So it's like farming and rodeoing?
Yeah, farming and rodeo, and yeah, getting them ready for the weekends and getting them back home after the weekends and stuff.
actually went to the museum this morning and we learned that there's Ukrainian influence. So the concession food, they actually have a Ukrainian dinner with pierogies. So we're gonna have pierogies.
And from the dust of the rodeo, we headed to the concrete structure right close by, the UFO landing pad.
We're standing on the landing pad. Tell me, what do you know about this place?
From what I was told, this is where, if something is to come to Earth, this is where it's going to land. Pretty bold thoughts, I guess. Hopefully, maybe you will. You never know.
Right.
To the casual observer, it might look like a roadside quirk, a relic of a different time. But if you dig a little bit deeper, you realize it's actually a monument of something much bigger.
So the landing pad opened on June 3rd, 1967, in the height of the centennial for Canada. And the landing pad was built in an era or a time in the late 1960s when space travel had sparked excitement, awe, and a sense of fear as well.
The world was caught in the tension of the Cold War. The space race wasn't just about discovery, it was about dominance. But here in St. Paul, a group of locals decided to flip the script.
Peace and unity was really what they wanted to put forward, and wanted to make sure that if we are to go out into space, that we are going out peacefully or inviting people here and not taking our stripe out there.
And this wasn't a government project. This was a town showing up for itself. It was built with volunteer hands, local materials, and a massive amount of prairie grit.
It was a community initiative to build a landing pad. It's 11 tons of cement and a lot of volunteer hours and commitment by community to build this. So we were dubbed the Centennial Star.
So why build a UFO landing pad in the middle of the Alberta prairies? It wasn't just for the tourists. It was a declaration of who they wanted to be.
It was visionary thinking. It was also in the spirit of fun and optimism. Peace and unity was really what they wanted to put forward.
They didn't just make a giant pad. They had to do something more. And below, apparently this is, I'm standing now in intergalactic airspace. I'm not floating though, so I don't know how that works. Shouldn't that be how it works? Now check this out. This is a map of Canada. All of these provinces are made up of stones that came from those provinces. These little rocks have traveled a long time to get here. Just like things can travel a long time to get here. Look at that. We've landed on the UFO landing pad. Today it's a drone landing pad. We've just proven that anything can land here on this landing pad in St. Paul, Alberta. Whether you are from Alberta, from Canada, from other parts of the world, or from other parts of this solar system or galaxy or universe, you are welcome in St. Paul.
A place that welcomes everyone, whether you're from down the road, across the ocean, or somewhere much further away. Philosophy is great, but eventually you need to eat. And in a town committed to a universal theme, there was really only one option.
So UFO Pizza in St. Paul, apparently it's out of this world. Did you at least visit the landing pad today then? Or?
No. That thing has been here longer than I have. You know, I'm 62 years old.
That's Lucas and his grandson Liam. They aren't just passing through though, they're part of the fabric of the Lakeland. They drove in from Goodfish Lake, a reminder that St. Paul serves as a gathering place for communities stretching miles in every direction.
It's quite the community. We have maybe about 4,700 people there. We're part of a band called Saddle Lake. We're with Saddle Lake too. It's got to be over like 15,000 altogether, right?
They were in town for tools, for food, and head to a powwow later that weekend. A plumber and an apprentice taking a pause in the middle of a busy life. So why this spot? Is it the aliens, or is it something else?
I mean, it's my favorite pizza. It's been my favorite for years, so even though I lived in Edmonton and tried a bunch, I still like this pizza, so.
Now the conversation shifts from pizza to place. Liam had spent time working in the city, in the noise and the rush of Edmonton, but something pulled him back to the Lakeland.
I like it. It's a lot more slower pace for sure compared to like the city and everything. It's a lot more relaxed. Yeah, I like how you get to like kind of know everybody because you kind of see the same people a lot, so you get to kind of be familiar with everybody and it feels more like a community.
We left the atmosphere of the pizza shop and headed out to the cabin. St. Paul isn't just a town, it's the anchor for the Lakeland. An absolutely beautiful landscape stitched together by water and sky. We stayed at an Airbnb on Lac Santé, a nice little cabin right next to the lake with some easy beach access. I got to go for a run around the neighborhood. And was really excited to get our kayaks out. I mean, getting out on the water, the rhythm changes completely. The noise of the highway fades. The pace of modern life just loosens its grip. It's easy to see why people put down roots here. It's not just about the economy or the amenities. It's about this.
I like it. It's a lot more slower pace for sure compared to like the city and everything. It's a lot more relaxed. Yeah, I like how you get to like kind of know everybody.
Quick shout out to our media sponsor. Listen for the Backroads Alberta Minute on New Country Radio for updates on my adventures and ideas of things to do in small towns around the province. But back in town on Saturday morning, the energy was building. It's parade day. And in a community like St. Paul, that means everybody shows up. But first, we need some breakfast. And the local co-op was serving up some delicious flapjacks. The parade brings everyone out. And the more you talk to the locals, you realize local is a broad term here. St. Paul draws from everywhere.
I'm from Ontario.
She just moved here?
Yeah, like a year ago.
I'm from Glendon.
Glendon, okay. Wow, like the big giant pierogi.
Far out of St. Paul, I have to go to school in Bonnyville, so I live in the county of St. Paul.
For Peyton, who is new to the region, the appeal was immediate. It's about the pace.
No traffic.
No traffic.
It's like calm and not really quiet, but better than like a city.
Megan told me it's about connection. In a world where so much interaction is digital, the rodeo forces you to be present.
The good things about like these rodeos and stuff, you can like come out and hang out with your friends. You guys can like walk around, you guys get stamps, best part. Yep.
So for these three, coming out to the rodeo is a fun time. But they aren't just spectators. They're the next generation of the Lakeland rodeo goers. And there's a bit of a protocol.
Yeah, it's a big deal here.
Big deal.
Yeah.
Every time there's a rodeo, everybody from like the Lakeland comes and watches it.
Yeah, you have to look the part.
And mainly everybody's dressed like boots, jeans, hats.
Belts with their belt buckles.
Yeah, everybody
got
with
my
their
sparkly one.
But if you live in town and you dress country,
Man, you're not country.
You're not country. And
You
if
can
you're
tell
from,
when they're fake.
yeah,
too.
you can tell when they're fake country. Most of the real country kids, you can tell who's fake country.
What's your favorite event?
Either saddle bronc, because I used to do bronc riding, or either calf roping or bulls. They're just so exciting.
Bull riding, probably.
I like the clowns. I want to be one of the clowns.
You want to be a clown, all
I'd
right.
gladly get hit by a steer. That sounds fun.
And I have to mention, these girls were excited to subscribe to this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Subscribe to your YouTube channel, guys.
Nice.
Look at this.
My phone charges.
Look at this. I'm subscribed.
Make sure
you guys
to subscribe.
Gotta subscribe.
Peyton mentioned the calm, but walk a few hundred meters to the ag corral, and calm is the last word you'd use. This is the Lakeland Finals. And to understand the stakes, I sat down with Hank. He's not just watching, he's lived it. A former bullfighter who knows exactly how unforgiving this dirt can be.
I was a bullfighter, and in 1972 I almost got killed in this very arena here. I got gored by a bull, almost killed me. I was off work for 6 months.
Okay. Oh, man.
I kept rodeoing after that. As soon as I recovered, I went back to fighting bulls.
And I asked him why people still come out. Why sit on metal bleachers in the stuffy arena instead of watching a polished broadcast?
Well, I can say one thing. I mean, no disrespect to Calgary Stampede or anybody, but you come to a small rural rodeo, you're going to be in the dust and the mud and the blood there, so it's a lot better than sitting a mile away in a big grandstand. People come into these rodeos, memories made forever. They'll never forget that for the rest of their life.
I absolutely love that. And I couldn't agree more. Every small town rodeo I've been to so far has had its own type of energy, and I can't get enough of it. It's something that just isn't the same in a big city stadium. Getting in the stands and being shoulder to shoulder with authentic cowboys like Hank, there's a huge difference, and so worth the price of admission, which is probably not as much as what you pay in the city anyways. It's so worth it. After the dust settled, we went back to where we started to grab a few selfies.
Selfie time.
At the landing pad and use it to fly my drone.
This is the town of St. Paul, a people kind of place. I really love this slogan because my idea of coming and exploring these towns has to do with people. This is exactly true. Like, towns are about the people. They would never be anything else without the people that they are, right?
In a world that often feels rushed, divided, and disconnected, places like St. Paul remind us what community looks like. They remind us that history matters, that traditions matter, and that welcoming others, even strangers passing through, still matters. And maybe that's why St. Paul leaves the light on.
Because in a people kind of place, there's always room for one more.
So remember when I was talking to Lucas and Liam at the restaurant? They mentioned they were heading to a powwow. Well, they invited us to come and check it out. So after taking in the Lakeland Rodeo, we got in the car and drove further north into Lac-La-Biche County to Heart Lake, where we experienced a truly powerful Indigenous experience that I'll never forget. You won't want to miss that episode next on Backroads, Alberta.